A camera can capture life's happiest moments, but it can also expose some of the worst atrocities in human history. A new film, Dead to Rights, has revived memories of this dark chapter of history. Based on the true story, it transports viewers to the 1937 Nanjing, a city gripped by fear and occupation. Its streets reduced to rubble, families shuttered, dangers lurking at every turn. Amid this devastation, a handful of civilians risk everything to smuggle photographs of Japanese atrocities beyond the city's walls. Since its premiere at home and abroad, Dead to Rights has sparked a strong emotional resonance among viewers. One review on IMDb says, "It's a heartbreaking film that forces the world to face this dark chapter." Its total earnings have now surpassed 2.2 billion yuan, that is over $300 million US. But what truly sets this film apart isn't just its box office success, it's the effort to bring China's voice into the World War II narrative, one that has long been dominated by the West.
In our own public memory about the Second World War, what's stand central? Well, it's the fight against Germany, it's the alliance with the United States, it's the liberation of Europe, it's Normandy. And when you think about it, it's a very Eurocentric way of thinking about a conflict that was global.
China was the main eastern battlefield in the global fight against fascism. It was the earliest to join the war, the longest to resistance, and one of the hardest hit. Yet the contributions and sacrifices of the Chinese are barely mentioned in Western films. Take the most iconic World War II films, Schindler's List, The Longest Day. Most focus on the horrors of the European front or the Holocaust. Even films centered on the Pacific War tend to be told from an American perspective. That's why films like Dead to Rights are so important. Its narratives capture the struggles, resilience, and humanity of ordinary people in China during the war. The universal emotions it portrays helps connect with the wider audience. It motivates many who are unaware of the history to seek the truth and understand the atrocities that occurred.
That's a must-see movie. First of all, an amazingly made film, also showing the historical side of what actually happened. None of us, at least in the West, have ever, certainly I have never heard of that event.
Sometimes it was actually hard to watch because of how intense the scenes were. I didn't know that this happened, and I feel a little guilty that as far as history, the history that we learned, we left out this.
But what's more frightening than the amnesia is the distortion of the World War II narratives. Over the decades, Japan's right-wing forces have downplayed or whitewashed the country's war crimes. In many Japanese films, Japan has been portrayed not as the aggressor, but as the victim. An article published on the United States Novel Institute states, as Japanese films becomes more revisionist, great concern has been raised about this current generation of movies, such as The Truth About Nanjing, which boldly dismisses war atrocities as Chinese propaganda. But the truth is undeniable. Just like the title of the film, Dead to Rights, the evidence is rock solid. Each photograph tells a part of Nanjing's story, and the world must know it.